God bless everybody and welcome back to the most electrifying
You already
podcast
gonna start.
in podcast history. Talking with purpose.
We need some
With-
sound effects.
I know. See? With your boy, the Lock, Les, and the beautiful Luz Quiñones. And we are back with part 2 of
The 5 love languages.
the 5 love languages. Oh, how in love I am with this one right here, man. Love is beautiful. As we said last episode, right? We went through 1 Corinthians chapter 13 where it talks about what love is. Love is patient, love is kind, love does not envy, goes down the list of what love is. And today we're going to touch on words of affirmation, which are very important. This is the second love language we're touching.
Yep.
And a very important one because this one is another one of mine.
Yep.
Right or wrong?
Mm-hmm.
This one is another one of mine.
That's why I said, did you put these in order, in your order?
Oh, yeah. No, this one is another one of mine. So I would love for you to start.
Okay.
Because you're so beautiful and it's better to look at you than it is to look at me.
To you.
Go ahead.
Anyways. All right. Affirmation. Words of affirmation are words that communicate your love, appreciation, and respect for another person. They are positive words or phrases used to uplift someone.
Yes. No. And you know what? You know what's crazy? That I hearing that this is a love language, it kind of makes me be like, wow. Because out of what you just said, used to uplift someone. Love can be used to uplift people.
Right.
It can. Mm-hmm. And not only that it can or that you should do that with intention, but it just does.
Right.
The moment you show someone that you appreciate them and you let them know verbally that you do, and if this is their love language, they'll take that and say, wow, yes. Because that's how I feel.
Mm-hmm.
When words of affirmation are thrown my way, I completely appreciate it. And it really, boop.
It changes your mood.
It changes my mood.
Yeah.
It makes me feel like I leveled up. They can also be used in romantic relationships and friendships and can help build connections between people. Words of affirmation can be spoken or written.
Yep.
Which
I
is
have that.
Oh, you have that too?
Yeah.
Which is why I always, well, not always. I stopped. I haven't
You
done this
used
in
to
a while.
in a while.
But
You used to a lot.
Go, you say it, please. Tell the world. The great husband you have. Go, tell them. Go, I'll let you.
So when I used to work outside of the house, I work from home now, but he would leave me like little notes on my dash in the car and things like that.
Yep.
So that's like the main place he would leave them where I would notice. I don't really do lunches or anything like that. So that was like, or on my desk.
Mm-hmm.
On my desk too, you leave me notes.
Yep.
And it doesn't have to be a 15 paragraph summary. You know what I mean? Like it would be something simple like you're beautiful or I love you or you're going to do great or like whatever, the smallest little phrase can do so much for somebody.
It really can.
And even though this is not my love language, it's not my primary. So most people have a combination. So you have like a number one and then they kind of like go in order, right? Words of affirmation is not my number one. But even though it's not my number one, it's always nice to hear it. Like you hear Les all the time. My beautiful wife, my this, my that. And I laugh because to me, it's like, I feel awkward sometimes that he talks to me like that because that's not my primary love language. But when he doesn't do it, I'd be like, You know what I mean? Because I'm
Yes, she
used to
does.
it. I'm used to it.
Like when the one you mainly do is when she dresses up and she comes downstairs and she is flawless. But I'd be like, I'm not gonna say nothing. Let's see what happens. Then we get in the car and we're going to where we're going, and she'll be like, you didn't say nothing about what I got on. And I'm like, oh, my bad, babe. You look beautiful. But you already know that. I tell you that all the time. But she does look for it sometimes.
Or if you
So,
say you look
what?
nice.
Then
Because
you know
you
what?
never tell me I look nice.
All right, but then you know what? That means that this one is somewhere on your list.
It's on there.
No,
It's
and
just
you-
not number one.
But you need to reevaluate where it is because it is important. No, it is.
No, that's because you spoiled me with that.
By-
So I would miss it.
Okay, how many of these are 5?
5.
By episode 5, I'll reveal to you my top 5 in
Like
the
in
order,
order.
and
Okay.
she'll do the same.
All right.
But the objective here, babe, is that we study.
We haven't read this together in
I
a
know
while.
that we study and that we see which one belongs where.
Yeah, there's a test.
Oh,
That
yeah, okay.
There's a test that you can take.
All right, one more thing I have. Words. The power of words. The Bible talks so much about the power of words and the
Yep.
power of the tongue and how the tongue is its own member.
Life and death are in the
Life and
power of
death
the tongue.
are in the power of the tongue. So that made me think of this. Words can make or break a relationship with this type of person. A person that wants or that loves words of affirmation and is their love language, it can make or break a relationship, even a marriage.
Yep.
Because words are extremely important to this person. Hearing positive words, love and positivity go hand in hand.
Yep.
You cannot use words to demean somebody or degrade somebody and expect them to feel
Uplifted.
No. Words are supposed to be used positive. I used to struggle with that a lot. Now I don't. I've gotten to a place now spiritually, and I think also mentally, where I could look back at myself and say, man, I came a pretty long way when it comes to using my mouth and to sting people. If you know someone or you're dating someone whose words of affirmation is their main love language or one of them, keep in mind what you say can make or break that relationship.
Yep. Proverbs 11:9 says, "Evil words destroy. Godly skill rebuilds."
Woo! King Solomon, the wisest man. The Bible says that there'll be no one as wise as him. I think that's somewhere in the book of Hebrews.
People that their primary love language is words of affirmation typically are sensitive, they're aware of their surroundings, and they're people who encourage others.
Oh, babe, that's not me? Wow. I didn't know
So
that.
there's characteristics that go along with it.
Look at that, guys.
Typically, not all the time, but in most cases.
Okay. I wonder if one
I think of,
characteristic outweighs the other.
I don't know.
That's
I
why
think
it
of
says
Eli
typically.
too, because you know Eli mad sensitive.
Yeah, and I think I'm sensitive. I would say I am. I'm not ashamed of that. I think I'm sensitive. What was it again? Sensitive?
Sensitive, aware of their surroundings. That's definitely you.
That's definitely me.
And people who encourage others.
That's me. I fall right into. You know what? That right there changed the whole thing of words of affirmation for me.
So it is also the most common love language. So it is.
Really?
Yeah, it is the most common. When people feel appreciated, they're likely to experience a deeper satisfaction with themselves
Come on.
and in a relationship. So it'll create a greater self-worth. You feel better about yourself.
Which is important.
Right. You create a level of motivation. Motivates you.
I would say I'm a pretty motivated person. And I like to motivate people too.
And it boosts your spirit. If this is your primary love language or someone you know, the best thing if you're in a relationship is to communicate that. So that's why we're going through these in hopes that after these 5 love languages, you're able to sit down with your husband or wife or girlfriend or boyfriend, whatever. I feel like a lot of these you'll notice. You know what I mean? Like if you really pay attention, you'll notice.
Is it necessary to be like, hey, your love language is this, so I'm gonna always do that to you?
No, I wouldn't because
Me neither. That's
because
what I'm asking.
it's one of those things to where it'll be like that. She really knows me. So these are my bewares. People whose primary love language is words of affirmation are often extremely wounded and hurt by gaslighting, narcissism, and emotional abuse. Negative words, accusations, and criticism can be very daggering to their heart.
Okay, so you looked at me. Why? Which one of those? Which one?
I wouldn't consider you any of these.
Oh, okay.
Well, negative words. You used to be hot on that when you would get mad.
Oh yeah, man.
But you've changed a lot in that aspect.
I did.
As you've grown.
I'm proud of myself. Guys, right now watching, clap. I did it, guys. I did it.
It takes a lot to hold your tongue.
Mm-hmm.
And that's something that me personally, I've worked on. What?
She's anointed with that.
I'm an expert pro.
Amazing. She's so good, guys, that I say,
How do you do that?
no, to myself. Like I would be like, yeah, I've told you, how do you do that? But to myself, I'm like, is she listening to me trying to fight? Or she doesn't care? I get, and it gets me hot, remember? I get hot, because I'm like, and I remember one time, I was like, why aren't you fighting back with me?
Yeah.
Like, I was so upset.
Why you ain't saying nothing?
Why you not saying nothing? Why you ain't fighting back with me? No, I think I said fighting back with me, like arguing, not fighting, just arguing back. Like, why you not arguing back with me? And she just
I mean, at one point, I literally was like, what's the point?
when I was going there. And then one of the other times she said, what's the point? So then she started explaining to me on how hard it was for her to change that part of her life so she wouldn't have to join something so negative. Instead, just be the difference in that situation. And I learned a lot from that because, man, I used to get hot, guys. Man, why you not fighting with me? I didn't get it.
Because, I mean, if you think of it, and this is just how I am. If you're different, that's fine. But I always think of what am I going to gain from entertaining that conversation? So if you're already upset, I'm not going to allow you to make me upset. You know what I'm saying? Because two hot-tempered people, what is that going to create? An explosion.
Come on.
You know? So I'd rather talk to you when you're calm, collected, and we can have a decent conversation. And I'm very careful with my words. You know, I try my best. I'm human, and you know, sometimes people they get you, they just get you. They know them buttons.
But babe,
but
it's
I would
rare
say,
for you, though.
yeah, it is pretty rare.
No, very rare.
But I would say that, you know, I say it in my head. I just don't say it out loud.
But out loud is what causes the damage.
Yeah.
So the fact that it doesn't come out of her mouth, it avoids so much destruction that can happen. The same thing with you. Take this advice and apply this to your life once you find out what your love language is and your partner's love language is.
Yeah. You know, I guess the main thing from this is if this is a primary love language, you want to be conscious of it, right? Like Les said, if you're someone that doesn't like speaking, because some people find it awkward to say like, hey, you did a good job or whatever. It doesn't have to be like, I love you so much and I love every time that you sweep the floor. You know, like it could be like, you did a good job. Thank you. It's more of an acknowledgement. And if they're struggling in something, you know, you're doing a great job at work. You know, this report looks great. Like it could be any little thing that, you know, that to you might be dumb, but to that person would mean the world, you know. And then also you don't want to say something bad to them, right? You also don't, let's say I'm mad at Les and now I'm like, well, I ain't giving him no compliment. and I'm not gonna say I love him, and I'm not gonna say
Oh,
thank you.
yeah, you can't
And
strip that away.
right, like you
No.
can't be manipulative
No.
to that. Like that's that's not how you do things.
For you to use any of these love languages to your personal gain and advantage is horrible.
Right.
Because it won't really damage the person that's not hearing these. For example, words of affirmation. It won't damage them because they don't know that you're not trying to give it to them, but it could damage you.
It could damage your relationship
Yes.
because you're not feeding
Right.
the relationship.
And it could damage the person doing it because the person is filling themselves with anger and so many other things that they really don't need to, when all it takes is a good job. Just because you're mad at the person, don't do that. That is not cool. Definitely not something you should do.
Right. In Proverbs 11:12, it says, "It is foolish to belittle one's neighbor.
Come
A
on.
sensible person keeps quiet."
Sensible. Ooh, that's you. That's you.
Look, it ain't easy, man.
Look, but you know what, babe? The book of Proverbs is so full of wisdom. And you know what? The book of Proverbs can also be a mirror. It could be a mirror, and it can show you who you are
Yep.
as a human being. Are you being wise with the decisions you need to make? Are you being wise with your finances? Are you being a good steward? Are you doing what you need to in your relationship? I mean, it's just, Book of Proverbs is a highly recommended book
Seriously.
for anybody who could understand parables and metaphors.
Right.
But it is
I think that's
so,
why you like it so much, because
yeah,
you rap.
because I rap, so I could understand. I understand it to the T. Like, it's one of my favorite books. But those are, oh my God, what a great verse.
I got one more.
Okay, good.
Proverbs 15:4.
Again.
Kind words heal and help. Cutting words wound and maim. So again, we're talking about words of affirmation. Affirmation means positive.
Yes.
So if you strive off of positivity, what do you think negativity is gonna do?
Imagine the pain and anguish and the destruction you could cause by using words of affirmation to destroy somebody.
Yeah.
Man. Well, no, not words of affirmation. That's dumb. Using words to destroy somebody.
Right.
And not using them as affirmation.
Right. Because if you think of a child, for example, how much better does a child do when you're positive versus when you're like, you're dumb, you're always dropping stuff, you don't know what you're doing, you don't know how to do that, you never do things right. You know what I mean? Like, us as parents, we need to learn these things because it'll set our kids up for success. It'll be like, oh, my mom never talked to me like that. So,
Right.
They learn from you and they continue that, So,
I struggled with that.
yeah.
Yeah, I struggled with that. It was bad.
Again, we're human, you know what I'm saying? And just because we are in ministry or we're Christian or we're believers, doesn't mean that we don't struggle with things that you guys struggle with. The difference is that we try our best to fix it, and it's like little by little. Each day is better and we do the best that we can, and that's it.
This just came to me. A person, not only a Christian, a person should understand that they have to live in maintenance mode. Maintenance mode, this just hit me. Maintenance mode is when you recognize that you always have to fix what you recognize as your flaw. A maintenance man, they're scheduled to work 8 hours, right? But in those 8 hours, how many times does the maintenance man have to clean the bathroom? A few times a day, especially because the bathroom is a very high traffic area no matter where is the business. That is how people should think of their lives. Let me maintain myself on maintenance mode to where you yourself know, hey, this is my flaw and today I'm going to work maintenance on that.
So basically, with words of affirmation, leave a note, text messages,
Yep.
a phone call, in person. It doesn't matter how you do it, just take the time today and send a nice message to somebody. Who doesn't like a compliment? You know what I mean? Like
Yeah, it
I
don't
went I
matter.
went to the grocery store the other day. They sell hot food. And Les wanted some chicken, fried chicken and JoJo's.
Oh,
And the little viejito, the little old man behind the counter, he's like, "You look very nice today. Where were you?" And I was like, "Oh, thank you." You know what I mean? Like especially when it's a stranger, it's like you feel like so good about yourself.
yeah, it is. It
You
does
know what I
something.
mean?
Yeah.
And I do that to people. Like, I love your shoes. I love your hair. People love to be noticed. Like one of the ladies in church, she colored her hair a little bit lighter. And I was like, "Your hair looks different." She's like, "Yeah, I went a little lighter." I was like, "I love it. It looks beautiful on you." And she was like, "Thank you." Like, she wasn't expecting anybody to comment on it. So these are things that can build and solidify a relationship when they feel like you understand and you know them and you see them. Again, this is a very important love language, words of affirmation. We proved it biblically, and I could go 100 Bible verses in, but we ain't doing that today.
We recommend that if you know someone with this love language, use it. But don't hold it hostage. Because the moment you hold it hostage, as we said earlier, it could cause big damage to a relationship.
Thank you for watching. We hope that you tune in to the next episode. If you have any comments, questions, let us know, and we'll see you in the next one.
Yep. God bless you.